By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept, when we remembered Zion. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Do you know what it means?
No? The Fallout New Vegas DLC Honest Hearts thrust the courier into the center of a conflict between some warring tribals. The expansion's greatest strength comes in the form of a new NPC by the name of Joshua Graham, more commonly referred to as the Burned Man, due to, being burned alive, which took place as he was being pushed into the Grand Canyon. This is pretty horrible, but it is the impetus for one of the greatest quotes in the whole franchise.
I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me.
If you like this quote, you can find it all over the internet in fun cursive text, separated completely from its context. They do make sure to list Graham as the originator, which is great, since he's not a real person. These citations don't tend to appear on the large amount of tattoos that feature the quote, however, so that's something. Before this aforementioned fire occurred, Graham served as the Legate for Caesar's Legion. This gave him control over their incredible army, and was quite a fit for a cunning strategist such as himself. He can't get it right 100% of the time, however, and after successfully taking Hoover Dam from the New California Republic, he pressed his luck and had his men chase down the retreating forces. His troops followed the Republic army into Boulder City, where a trap had been laid. Once the Legion was inside, the city was destroyed, with rubble raining down on Graham's troops. This allowed the NCR to mount a counteroffensive, where they ended up retaking the dam. This complete failure was on Joshua Graham's hands, and his greed had lost Caesar an incredibly important landmark in the Mojave. Due to this mishap, Caesar had Graham covered in pitch, and the rest is history. As to how he survived this fall,
I survived because the fire inside.
Yes, we know. Regardless of how he actually survived, he returned to the town he grew up in, a small place now known as New Canaan. Canaan is an incredibly important place in the Christian Bible, and is said to be around where Israel is in the modern day. New Canaan was not just a fun name picked out of a hat by the residents of the town, who referred to themselves as New Canaanites. The settlement was incredibly religious, as they were pretty much all members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, were commonly referred to as Mormons. Joshua Graham is also, in fact, a devout Mormon himself. Names are clearly important to Graham, as when he was forced to flee into New Canaan to escape the wrath of Caesar, he retreated to a national park where we eventually come across him. The name of this national park is Zion. This is the most surface level answer to the question of what is Zion when referred to by Graham. It is simply the name of the park that took him in when all else was lost. But things do go deeper than this. Zion is said to be the city of David, and is used interchangeably with Jerusalem in some places. It is most frequently referred to as Zion in the Book of Psalms, which is a collection of Hebrew hymns. In fact, the quote you heard in the beginning is actually a passage from the Book of Psalms, in particular Psalm 137. So Zion is the name of the national park, as well as a city from the Bible. That's pretty cool, but there is one more step that ties it all together. Joshua Graham is not a Christian, he's a Mormon. Mormons do follow the Bible, so all the biblical things that have come up so far still apply, but they also subscribe to some additional scripture. In particular, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. And as in this supplemental material, Zion is a much bigger deal. In Mormonism, Zion has taken a couple forms. It is believed that Zion definitively existed at least 3 times. Firstly, in the city of Enoch, then in ancient Jerusalem, and then in New Jerusalem, which is located in, you guessed it, Missouri. However, shortly after the establishment of New Jerusalem, the Mormons were kicked out of the state and had to leave their Zion behind. Since then, Zion has not really been a set place, and it's more of a concept than anything else. In 2020, the president of the church stated the following: "The Lord has decreed the establishment of Zion, in each realm where he hath given his saints their birth and nationality. The place of gathering for Brazilian saints is in Brazil. The place of gathering for Nigerian saints is in Nigeria. The place of gathering for Korean saints is in Korea. Zion is the pure in heart. It is wherever righteous saints are." Referenced in this statement is a passage from Doctrine and Covenants. It's either 6:6 or 11:6. I'm not exactly familiar with the layout of this text. The original statement lists them both, and when I look it up, they're the exact same text. This text is, "Now as you have asked, behold, I say unto you, keep my commandments and seek to bring forth and establish the cause of Zion." Zion is the national park that plays host to Joshua Graham. Zion is an allusion to the biblical city, a location the Israelites fled to after escaping Egypt. But Zion is chiefly the creation of Graham himself. He's tired of running. He's found his new home, and he plans on defending it with his life. When it is invaded by the Whitelegs, he recruits the courier to aid him in driving them out. It is during this final counteroffensive where you witness the true rage of the Burm Man that he's been hiding under his bandages and stoicism.
We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted. You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out, and like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice. Kale wachene conserva o. You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
This rage is only found within a man protecting his land, his bastion of security, his holy site, his Zion. Thank you for watching. I don't have any connections to the Church of Latter-day Saints or Mormonism. I've tried to do my due diligence and research and treat it with as much respect as possible, but I certainly could have gotten a lot wrong. If you know more than me, please let me know. The same goes with all the other theology. I'm not a biblical scholar in any way, so feel free to correct me there as well.